If you look into the history of the city, you will notice that Hong Kong has always had a knack for craftsmanship. This week on DV, we chat with some of these skilled craftsmen and women who are still plying their trade through generations of development, evolution, and tastes. Times have changed, but craftsmanship is still just as valued. We start in Yau Ma Tei. What do we have today, Joyce?
When it comes to choosing bridal wear for the big wedding day, apart from the signature white wedding gowns, many of us will also be on the hunt for traditional Chinese wedding gowns. To me, Chinese bridal wear is an art. So let's go find out all the small details and the meanings behind it.
I've always wondered what is behind this traditional outfit. Known as a canvas for storytelling in Chinese culture, the meticulous details of this craft is fascinating. Let's find out more.
Hi, Miss Lan.
Hi, how are you?
Could you tell us more about Kuan Kwa?
Sure. Kuan Kwa is a two-piece Chinese culture wedding set embroidered with patterns such as dragons and phoenixes on it. And Kwa refers to the top, the jacket, and while the Kuan refers to the skirt.
So together it's like Kuan Kwa.
Yes, exactly.
So where did Kuan Kwa actually come from?
Well, Kuan Kwa was from the Chinese Ming to Qing dynasty as the royal wedding dress. The patterns of dragons and phoenixes were limited to royal use. So nowadays it become a common outfit for ladies at special and important occasions and the brides for weddings.
So why do you think Kuan Kwa is still so popular in modern day weddings?
Well, Kuan Kwa inherits some of the most important Chinese wedding cultural value. And this custom has been passed on from one generation to generation. Kuan Kwa also symbolize the virtue and the elegance. So it is still a proper outfit for the brides. And that's why it's still very popular.
So I'm curious, how did you get into the Kwa business?
It was my granddad. He established this shop in 1946. It was not actually concentrated in the Kuan Kwa, but a mix of some bed setting curtains in Guangzhou and the southern part of China. And then my father inherited the business and he concentrated on the Kuan Kwa business. Around 1960, he moved to Hong Kong and started the first shop in Wan Chai. The reason I took over the business is in around 1997 and 1998. Hong Kong was facing a severe economic downturn, and I decided to come back for the family business.
So how long did it take to make the Kwa?
Normally, I use one single person to sew the Kwa. It takes about 1 year and 1.5 years, for one set of garb.
One person, one Kwa. So they dedicate 1.5 years to make it. So why did you decide to bring Western wedding gowns in?
It's mainly because of the customer. I started up the business 12 years ago for the Western part. And it was not very good at that when I first started up the business because I didn't know where to get the dress, where to get the good quality of dress.
So it was like an entire learning process.
Yeah.
老師傅, what do you actually do?
我負責裁剪嘅，我負責將嗰啲褂片咧剪好佢咧，咁樣即係做好佢一套褂咁樣。
So you're actually in charge of doing all these fabric cutting, so we can later assemble them together and make a kwa. So how long have you been doing this for?
我喺14歲開始做咗都應該有55年㗎啦。
Wow, so you've actually started when you were just 14 years old and you've been doing this for 55 years. You must be very experienced. So in terms of fabric, is there anything special?
褂嘅布料咧，以前咧就有啲咧就用真絲嘅，但係真絲咧就比較軟啲。咁我哋而家咧就用飾釘，飾釘咧就係即係挺身啲嘅咁樣啊。
So traditionally back in the days, a lot of people might use silk, but it's a bit soft. And these days we like to use satin fabric because it's more sturdy. And when you put it together and make it into a croix and put it on, it actually looks a lot more beautiful.
呢個飾丁咧就喺日本，即係日本嘅料嚟嘅。呢啲咁嘅金銀線咧就係法國嘅咁樣。
So this fabric is actually from Japan, and all these thread came from France. What do you hope to bring to all your customers?
我哋希望咧嗰啲褂做出嚟咧，嗰個新娘子咧就係着得係非常之好，因為佢係一生人咧就最高興同埋最大嘅日子嚟㗎嘛。
Because this is one of the most special days in the bride's life. So your one wish is to really make the bride look the most beautiful that day and hope that when they wear the croix, it will really make them pretty, happy, and have a very good celebration. Hi, Nian.
Hi, Joyce.
Why did you choose to wear croix on your big day?
I've attended a few weddings of my friends and relatives before, and all the brides, they chose to wear croix in the morning for 出門. I think it's also symbolized that it's the beginning of you becoming someone's wife.
So, what do you look for when choosing your own croix?
To me, a layman, at the beginning, I think all the croix, they all look the same. I don't know if you share the same view. After I visit the shop, I finally realized there are certain type of croix. For example, there are croix wong, which is 100% covered by the embroidery, and also croix hao, it's like 80%, and then fok is 60%, and so on. And there are also different color of croix. At the beginning, I don't have a particular type of croix that I want to look for, but I came to the shop and they give me some advice, and I try on some croix, which also helps me to realize which one looks best on me.
So what did you end up picking?
Oh, I chose the croix hao, yeah, which is 80% covered by the embroidery. I think I look slimmer in the croix hao. Yeah, so I went for the croix hao at the end.
Because there's a bit of shadows maybe, which highlights your figure a little bit?
It also shows a little bit of the fabric color, which is red.
So what about the color of the thread? What's yours?
The traditional one normally contain gold and silver, but mine it's a bit trendy design, which I would say it's now an updated version, which also includes some green and some pink.
So everyone has like an idea of a dream wedding dress, but do you think they would have an idea of like a dream croix?
I think nowadays you can easily search on a lot of croix posts or photos online. For me, the advice for all the bride to be, it would be go to try on the croix so that you can find out which croix looks the best on you. I think until you examine the croix in real and you can take a closer look of it, then you will realize that it does involve a lot of details. Yes.
Hi, Winter.
Hi.
So can you tell us why you picked this shop in particular to shop for your wedding dress?
I can find everything I want here, from the wedding gown to the traditional croix, and my mom's and mother-in-law's dresses to my sister's dresses. I can find everything here.
So when looking for a wedding dress and when looking for a croix, is there any similarities and differences in what you look for?
I think people usually spend more time and effort finding the dream dress because there are too many styles, like mermaid, or they want a princess-like wedding gown. But in terms of croix, there's just a few styles, so we spend less time. So the most important thing in choosing a croix is the quality of the croix and also the size of the croix. Yeah.
Do you think that's also the reason why a lot of people will have dream wedding dresses instead of like, let's say, a dream croix?
Yes, but nowadays, actually, they have more fashionable or modern style of croix, like pink or orange, so people can actually have their personalized croix, like their dream dress.
Did you get your croix tailor-made?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you didn't think about just renting one, you still want it very personalized?
Yes. I think both dresses are important to me because when you think about your wedding, you wear croix in the morning, and your wedding gown in the rest of the time. You have to pick both dresses with caution because it actually plays similar role in your wedding.
It's beautiful to see such passionate people working so hard to keep the Chinese bridal wear traditions alive, reinforcing cultural value and identity. There's so much beauty behind it, and that's why it'll always have a special place in weddings, even in this day and age. I've personally always thought about wearing a kwa on my wedding day, and learning about all the meaningful stories behind the art of kwa, I now have a different kind of appreciation for it.
Welcome back. We're in Shangwan with Darren to check out a different kind of craft in the city.
As you can probably tell, I wear my watch a lot. My first watch came from my father. I was around 7 or 8, and from that moment on, it was over. I wore my watch all the time. I wear it when I go to work, when I take a shower, when I sleep. It has just always been a part of me. But that's not to say I'm sentimental about watches. To me, they are just tools. Their value is only as good as their functionalities. So I've never really understood why people would spend money to get watches that requires maintenance or repairs. I mean, in this day and age, isn't it cheaper and easier to just get a new one? Obviously, not everyone is as extreme as I am in this regard. So today, I am going to explore the deeper meaning behind all the hairsprings and pivots and hands and dials and bezels to really discover why people love their watches so much.
Time is as valuable as you want it to be. Timepieces often reflect this. Whether it's valued by its intricate craftsmanship or simply by sentiment, there is always more than meets the eye.
So Anthony, this is an absolutely lovely place.
Actually, our watch company is a key watch retailer in Hong Kong. We majorly focus our customers for Hong Kong local people. So we would like to enhance the overall experience for our customers. So we developed a watch repairing centers, do the professional watch maintenance, and then also based it on Switzerland and German professional watchmaking level standard.
So why do you think they would want to come here? What's the advantage, do you think?
We want to develop a local repair and services center with international standard. So we can save our customers' time, also can provide good professional timepiece standard to our customers.
I know getting the standards right for the watch fixing and the repair is quite difficult, isn't it? What's that journey been like?
Actually, this is a very challenging. Switzerland is the major country provided watch products, so they got really high standard for all the watchmakers and watch repairing as well. So we try to order and purchase all the equipment, all the instruments from Switzerland and Germany to fit in their international standard.
Getting the right equipment is one thing, which you've done. But then getting the right people, like you said, with experience, the masters, to actually do the work. Is it difficult? I mean, how many of these masters have you got here?
Actually, we got 5 watchmakers here. This is very critical because, in Hong Kong, recruit many experienced watchmakers. This is not an easy thing. Actually, 2 of them are our old colleague at all. So they basically work in our company more than 30 years. And then another 3 watchmakers, they all come from a large luxury watch group. So they already well equipped with luxury watches timepiece professionalism.
So Mark, hello. How long have you been in this business?
I have worked around over 30 years.
30 years? And you have always been a watchmaker?
Yes. I have been studying in Swiss watchmaking school.
Okay.
And then I have been working in a different Swiss brand company as a watchmaker. Right. Also, I will serve as a technical trainer to train up the younger watchmaker and evaluate them in different countries.
I see. What's important in becoming a watchmaker, do you think?
I would say, first of all, you have to take patience. For the younger watchmaker, we will start from maybe the big movement the gen size or extra large size movement. Let them to practice how to disassemble and reassemble, and how to re-lubrication, how to do the adjustment. When they feel better and more comfortable, we will start from the lady watches.
Are the ladies' watches the most difficult?
Yeah, because the size is quite small, and then all the part is smaller than the gen size, the movement.
Why do you think people are so sentimental about watches?
I can share the story. One day, I saw one old lady. She bring the watch to the service center. For the beginning, I saw the condition is very bad because the crab is broken, the glass is cracked. She said this is from her husband, but her husband is passed away last year. So eventually, we keep the original, except for the damaged part, we mandatory to replace. But even the watch, the case condition, the scratch, the marking, we didn't touch. We didn't polish.
For her memories?
Yes.
Yes. That's a beautiful story. Hello, David. First of all, I'd like to ask about sort of your watch history. Are you a big watch person?
Not a massive watch person, but I've always had decent watches when I can afford them. And I have sports watches, I have a dress watch and a couple of other watches that have come to me through the family line.
It's always been a part of your life?
Yes.
And do you take all your watches to the repair centre here?
Yes, I do, yes. Particularly a piece like this, which is over 100 years old.
Yeah.
It took the Sifu several months to source the parts that he needed to get to replace the mechanism inside. Yeah. So that was why it wasn't easy to find somebody, and it was just pure happenstance that a friend of mine who knows the Sifu and his family, that she recommended him, and I've been very pleased. So pleased, in fact, that this morning one of my daughters has inherited some 4 or 5 watches from her grandmother who passed away, and again they've stopped working, so I brought them in this morning, and he's going to be looking after those for me as well.
Fantastic. So, can you tell me a little bit about this pocket watch? Why is it so important to you?
Well, as I say, it was given to me by my father on his deathbed, and he said to me that the watch was to go to the first son in every generation.
Why do you know it takes so long to repair it? I mean, what was the issue of?
Lao Sifu told me when he looked at it, he said it would take some time because he inspected the mechanism and said that he was going to have to source the replacement parts. It's quite astonishing, the fact that they were able to make machinery of such incredible precision over 100 years ago.
And still ticking?
Yeah.
I can hear it. Would you say Lao Sifu is more than just a family watch doctor? Has he become sort of an acquaintance, a friend, something like that?
Well, I like to think so, yes. I had lunch with him and our mutual friend last week or the week before, and that was very pleasant.
Lao Sifu, first of all, I'd like to ask, how long have you been doing this?
45年。
45 years. How did you get into watchmaking?
10零歲嗰陣時，跟咗阿爺已經開始做㗎啦。
Oh, so you followed your grandfather's footsteps and you started doing watchmaking. So your grandfather was a watchmaker as well?
係啊，我阿爺、我爸爸都係。
Oh, wow.
同埋我細佬都係呢個特別。
So your whole family are watchmakers. So your grandfather, your father, you, your brother. I know that you fixed the pocket watch for David. When you first got the pocket watch, what sort of condition was it in?
佢係好耐嘅錶，應該有60、70年㗎啦，最少。所以嗰個零件咧就通常都行得唔好㗎啦。同埋佢隻錶係斷咗發條嘅，斷咗鏈，去揾翻嗰啲零件就有啲困難嘅。
So from just looking at the pocket watch when you first got it, you can tell that it was about at least 70 years old, and you said the hairspring was broken, and I think the chain was broken. It was difficult to get the parts to fix it, right?
個錶已經好耐，同埋佢好稀有嘅，即係好少嘅，所以個零件都係少嘅。
Oh, so the parts were old and they were very rare as well. So in the end, how did you manage to find the parts?
咁啊，靠嗰啲當年嘅朋友，即係做啲古董錶嘅。
Oh, so you actually went to your friends who do antique watches, and then you found the parts and you started putting it together. So when you are putting a pocket watch together, that has so much history, is it difficult?
最大難處就要好小心，佢啲零件同埋嗰啲錶殼啊嗰啲都好單薄嘅，一唔小心可能就會整壞嘅。
Oh, so the most difficult part is how fragile it was because it was old and everything was very thin and you can't afford to break it because obviously it's hard to find replacement parts. Did you feel a lot of pressure when you were working on it?
有啊，好大壓力啊！教授話佢錶係阿爺剩翻俾佢嘅，所以覺得好珍貴，所以一定要整翻佢嘅。
So you knew about the story of the watch and how it came from his father, and so you felt a lot of pressure in fixing the watch. Today, I've had a whale of a time speaking to the experts and the watch lovers, and I've come to understand that a watch is more than just an accessory. For the wearer, it is a statement, an expression of self, and it can also be family history, a memory, a feeling. Take me, for example. I think a watch will always remind me of my father. And as for the masters who repair them, they are a labor of love. They are their art, their craft. And I think I've come to understand that the true value of a watch isn't in how expensive it was or even the craftsmanship or how well it tells the time, but that it withstands the test of time.